What's up, guys, and welcome back to the joinDOTA League Season 7. We have Game 2 between Mineski and Space Creators on the way, with Mineski holding a one-game lead. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Kefka for this second game. That last one, man, was definitely a slogfest there for Mineski, but hopefully we're going to see something a little bit different. It's a Spirit Breaker to be first banned. He was not touched, right?
He was banned in the first stage last game as well.
Was he?
Yeah, he was one of the first. I think Mineski actually first banned him as soon as they got their turn. I think it was Space Creators banned first. They decided to go away with Winter Wyvern, and then Mineski took away the Spirit Breaker. So for some reason they have huge respect for that hero. It's not that surprising that they ban him early, but both games just first banning him like that. It's a bit weird, I'd say.
I mean, that is kind of the strategy that Space Creators went for in the last game, just the tempo push style, and that's really where Spirit Breaker is going to give Space Creators quite a bit, as they did lack a way to actually start a fight. Spirit Breaker is going to give that to you most of the time, so I think, especially after last game, seeing that Space Creators may be a little bit more inclined to go for that type of strategy, getting rid of that Initiator is going to be a little bit more justified, but you can also like disassemble the pieces and prevent Space Creators from getting to that point in the first place. It's Winter Wyvern to be banned out, and it seems like it's progressing pretty much as per the last game. Off of that last game, do you think it's time for any respect bans?
I wouldn't say so. They're gonna ban the Earthshaker Mineski. They had that hero themselves last game. I didn't feel like there was a hero that really stood out, in my opinion. I thought it just was a playstyle thing, so I would be surprised if there's a big thing like that. They would look to ban out something like that. But they banned Undying. I was thinking about that. They banned it last game, and this hero gets through, which was nerfed, but it's a pretty insignificant nerf. It doesn't hurt him that much, except the Frozen Sigil doesn't slow when people are magic immune anymore. So BKB works against Sigil nowadays, which is probably the major nerf.
Yeah, but for Tusk generally, the time where you're going to be on the aggressive, that's earlier on, and that Sigil impact not going to make a change there. Later on, of course, his utility is going to suffer, but later on is a little bit past the point where Tusk really needs to be doing the damage anyway. So Space Creators, well, I think I've seen this before. Ogre Magi again. Can't say I'm too unhappy to see this with a Darkseer as well, but running the same strategy, it's especially after you lost, I'm not sure if any team should really be doing this. Mineski just had to do exactly what they did last time, right?
Yeah, I think the Ogre had a lot of impact that game, but the Darkseer last game at least felt kind of lackluster. He was supposed to be third position, but he felt like the hero that supported Ogre. Like he made Ogre being able to be a bit stronger, but he didn't do anything himself. He had one nice vacuum wall, I'd say, but other than that, I didn't really feel like the Darkseer had an impact that game. So I am very surprised they pick him again. It's probably just they're very comfortable in this Darkseer Ogre lineup and picking it early, and it might be a thing where they haven't scrimmed that much, so they don't feel comfortable on picking other heroes in an official like this that's quite high value.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure about running this strategy again, but as far as the laning stage went, they just had to be a little bit more careful. They may go up against a lane with slightly less damage, as the Queen of Pain Disruptor got to their level 3s pretty quickly, were able to recover from there, and then they were just fine. In a different matchup, perhaps it's going to work a little bit better, but I mean, it's way too early to know what your matchup is. It's only the second pick. Ogre Magi, I don't think in the last game was powerful enough for Mineski to respect ban that one, so I think they probably could have gotten him a little bit later, but I don't know. What's done is done. Space Creators going to most likely have another offensive, a very aggressive dual lane between these two. Mineski, they are going to grab the Queen of Pain once again, so yeah, it seems like we're going to have game 1 take 2 in this time, except Tusk is involved instead of the Clockwork. Do you think support Tusk is still decent? What do you think about support Tusk and then grabbing a Clockwork third for Mineski?
I think support Tusk is pretty good. I when my team played it, I was demoted, kinda. I was supposed to be position 3 offlane, but when I play Tusk, I kind of play a more supporting role, and I think it's really nice in that role as well. I think some heroes are really strong as farming offlaners now, like Ogre and Undying. I think are amazing as in a more farming role. Undying Aghanims, I'm not sure if you played against it or anything. It's amazing. It's another hero. Like Undying is with Aghanims becomes so strong, like unkillable almost. It's actually insane.
It's 10 decay strength stolen as opposed to 4 per hero hit with the Aghanims up. Kind of weird to have Aghanims not amplify his ultimate, but you know what? No one got it when he was amplifying Fleshed Golem anyway. 10 damage, 10 strength swing per decay hit on a very low cooldown skill gets pretty ridiculous. Still not really sure if they fixed that tombstone thing with illusions. That's really just like in my head and it will be forever, but still that decay, man. That decay is pretty disgusting. Anti-Mage, Ember Spirit, going to be banned out right now, so I'm interested to see if Mineski are going to go for that Clockwork. I mean, just give that to Royer and just say, here, you already did it, now do it again, and we should be fine. But for Space Creators, is it really just going to be that fully aggressive style? I don't really think that's, really what they should be doing here. It's a Dazzle instead. This was banned out last time when they had this type of early game setup, but it seems like they may want to slow this down a little bit. Dazzle can certainly be played in aggressive shell, especially with 2 melee heroes already.
Yeah, and both teams picking up a bit more defensive support, at least in early laning phase. They're kind of strong in lane and are really nice in a dual lane. So they kind of secure so that the offlaner of the opponent doesn't really just run you over because you have a weak support. Especially Dazzle Phantom Lancer is very nice. You create illusions and then you have a heal bomb. So Dazzle becomes a lot stronger in lane thanks to a hero like PL that enables your heal to be a lot stronger.
And Mineski themselves already banned out the Ember Spirit, so they don't have that kind of soft counter up against the Phantom Lancer for them to select. It's probably like the best go-to as far as carry versus carry is concerned versus that Phantom Lancer, but Space Creators are shifting gears from the last time. Even though they do have the same offlane setup, most likely, even though it's the same exact opening, they still can drag this one out to the late game, and as opposed to a Clinks, I would probably trust a Phantom Lancer to carry a team over that Clinks, especially since Clinks had a really rough game last time, but also Phantom Lancer just does it a lot better. Is probably going to get away with it a lot more, especially with the Dazzle right behind him. A Phantom Lancer already difficult to kill, sometimes impossible to kill.
Yeah, I think PL. I like the PL a bit more than the Clinks, like last game, like you mentioned. It feels a bit more stable in general, and it's very good. The illusion weird stuff that you talked about with Undying applies to Tusk as well, with Sigil taking full damage from Phantom Lance illusion, so he clears that spell quite fast, even though he's a melee that's supposed to have trouble against it. So that's very nice for Phantom Lancer.
That's rough for Tusk also. Just not much you can do about that until someone steps in and fixes it, or they confirm that it's real and they don't fix it in the next patch. But either way, Phantom Lancer going to get a little bit of an extra edge that I didn't know about. Didn't see that interaction just yet, but I'm sure I will in this game. Mineski have one support for sure in the Witch Doctor, maybe a second in their Tusk. They're looking for their late game damage dealer, and it's a PA. Okay, so Phantom Assassin versus Phantom Lancer. Probably a Battle Fury setup for her. You can actually, I hear you can cleave off of Dagger now, which is stupid, but that's awesome.
It's really, that spell became so weird. It was like, it was used to be so simple and then became something, I don't know, maybe the most complicated spell in Dota suddenly. It's really weird how it works, like how it cleaves, and like, let's say you have Basher, you can throw Dagger, you can bash people, and you can like proc Maelstrom and stuff like that. It's really weird how it works, and quite interesting though to watch. I've seen some Daggers bashing people to death and stuff like that, so it's gonna be interesting to see, especially how he builds it. I think probably Battle Fury. I am not a big fan of Battle Fury on PA, but against Phantom Lancer, you kind of forced to get something to deal with him at least, and it's gonna be Battle Fury or Maelstrom in that regard, and Battle Fury is probably a bit better in that case.
You can't lifesteal off the Dagger though, which is weird. You'd think you would be able to, but you can't. So I don't know, but Either way, yeah, Battle Fury Phantom Assassin, you do cleave in the direction that you threw the dagger in. I think that's how it works. Haven't seen it yet. Maybe I'll see it this time. Versus a PL, hell, versus like a Dazzle, like Phantom Assassin can just jump in and, you know, look towards one-shot territory. But all these heroes in general for Space Creators now with the Tiny last pick are extremely durable. Like Tiny, Ogre Magi, Darkseer, those are some of the tankiest heroes in the game. Tiny maybe lacking a little bit of armor, but versus the Phantom Assassin with craggy exterior, very resistant. This damage output from Mineski may just not be good enough to, you know, actually start the fight off 4v5, which is always what you really want to be doing.
Yeah, I think in the beginning of a patch like this, if you're a bit unsure how to draft, you pick tanky melee heroes and you just phase rush them and you win the game. It's a pretty good strategy when you're not really sure, because the opponents are probably not sure either. So if you get strong heroes and just dive all the time, and you can win games quite easily that way. Sometimes it's gonna backfire though if the opponents know the patch, which I think Mineski does to an extent at least. Even though it's quite new, they seem to have some kind of idea how to play it. And they only have a few seconds for the last pick, and it's gonna be a Axe.
Interesting pick. Obviously, you do get the Culling Blade versus Dazzle, so it makes Shallow Grave a lot worse. But, I mean, Axe is also, in some cases, really good up against Phantom Lancer, just locking him down, letting the Phantom Assassin go ham. Early on, however, Axe up against high armor heroes like Ogre Magi, Darkseer, heroes that don't really attack all that fast. I'm not really sure if this is the best place for Axe. The upside, of course, is that they have a Tusk, so essentially a poor man's Blink Dagger early on. Even though you may not be doing as much damage with Counter Helix, you still be able to get in there. So, Axe is the pick for Mineski. What are your thoughts?
It's okay, but I think there were room for better picks. Not sure how they're gonna run this. They might do Tusk Axe dual offlane, but looking at who plays it, Rior is playing the Tusk, he was the offlaner and the position 3 hero. They might just swap it up a bit, because like I mentioned, I think Tusk is really nice at a more supportive role, even if your offlane is the one who plays it, and you pick a more farming role, farming hero for your support, and that might be exactly what Mineski are doing.
Well, they did need a little bit more damage, and Axe is, you know, not going to be that super scaling damage roll, but for sure early on, if you want a hero to hold down the fort, it's going to be that Axe. I'm interested to see if he's actually going to work out. A Tusk and Axe dual lane, if you're going up against Phantom Lancer, that's really dangerous, but if it's going to run into another dual lane of Darkseer, Ogre Magi, I'm not sure if I will give it to the Tusk Axe. Ogre Magi is so difficult to deal with just by himself with Ion Shell. We already saw the effectiveness of that in the last game. And here we are. We are back in after the first crash. Hopefully that's going to be the last crash. This Tiny is actually going to be going towards the mid lane versus Queen of Pain. Anyone versus Queen of Pain is already a tough sell. Tiny does have some ways of managing that, but he doesn't really, I mean, unless they're going to put the Dazzle with him in the dual lane, he should be able to get a couple last hits, but not really be super comfortable in that lane.
Yeah, some harass going on. Gonna just trade runes, it looks like. I'm a bit not really sure how this mid lane is gonna go, or if are they gonna do something weird? Is Tiny really gonna mid lane against the Quap, is what I'm feeling.
Well, Phantom Assassin's gonna grab the bounty rune. She is going to get a salve. So mid lane is going to be run by the PA, and they do want Jules again, in theory, up against this Darkseer Ogre dual lane. And it worked kind of in the first game for a little bit, and eventually it slipped away. This is definitely a much better lane for the Tiny, but this is also a pretty good lane for the Phantom Assassin. You gotta remember that Stifling Dagger, it's dirt cheap. If you get a Ring of Basilius, you can spam that to your heart's content. If you get an Orb of Venom, man, you can actually jump on the Tiny and force some mana out.
Yeah, you have to be a bit careful though. Tiny's buff was kind of nice, got a bit more strength, as also can actually use his combo on level 2 without any stat spot, which is very nice. And looking at Axe here, they're gonna be some skirmishes between these two heroes.
Ignite him, he's gonna cut him off, stay out of range of the spins. This is where Ogre Magi wants to be, especially with boots first. He wants to be interrupting the enemy while they're pulling, while they're doing classic support things. Versus an Axe, getting that kill is probably just not going to happen, but he's absorbing experience. He stole one of the Golem last hits. and he's just trading hits. Even with Jesse Vash here, that is not going to be that bad for Death. He just walks away. Cast's going to be thrown. Jules going to jump over the cliff. Dagger's going to land. And Ogre Magi now taking a little bit of damage, but the slow is fading, and Jules should not be able to get this kill. So Death, not punished.
Yeah, and what a nice play from Death here. He actually forces 3 people to go for him for quite some time. So a lot of space created already, like at the first minute already. And Jules is gonna have some annoying parts here. Already falling behind in Doxy and lost it just because he went for that kill. And Tiny's looking a bit safer in mid because the Witch Doctor actually has to help the Axe here.
You really don't want to have anyone have to help out your jungler. That kind of defeats the point of a jungler, but Raging Potato just has to deal with that. So of course, this is going to be the trade-off. Other lanes are under not as much pressure. For instance, down towards bottom lane where Royer is going 1 versus 1 up against Musica. And this is actually a pretty good lane for the Tusk. Even with Dazzle arriving, a double damage rune Dazzle might be a little bit too much. And not going to get him killed just yet, although he will take a poison.
Musica is not handling tower aggro at all. And he lost like 200 more HP than he had to, actually. I was a bit worried about him there. Royer could have actually sniped him.
Yeah, Royer having to deal with the Dazzle, though. Tough call to make it snowball in. He'll be fine, but yeah, it's Sal being forced down into Musica. But still, Royer should be fine in this 1v2 lane. Ogre Magi not helping up top lane either, where 2D's going to be doing just fine, but pretty much 1-for-1ing himself with this Axe is doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's quite annoying for Dax, but he seems to be handling it quite well. I guess it's thanks to Witch Doctor helping out, but it feels a bit weird that your position 5 hero has to guard your position 4 hero. It's not really how Dota looks in general, and I wonder if it will have an effect on the other lanes. So far, not really. Only Tusk is having some minor issues, and not even that is any big deal so far.
Well, helping up top lane, killing off Jules, you need at least Fire Blast. If you go for Cuckoo over in mid, you really don't need Fire Blast. Like, as long as Tiny has that magic 240 mana mark, an Avalanche Toss on this Phantom Assassin is already going to wreck her. Add a Fire Blast and Ignite, Chasing Power on top of that, or just a Surge in with Ion Shell into Raging Potato. That might just be it. He's going to get chain stunned a couple times, though, by the Cask with Battle Hunger and Maledict on him. This is going to hurt. He will not get the Battle Hunger off him because the Darkseer actually was credited with that neutral kill. It's fine. It's only level 1 skill, but still, Death gotta be really careful about when he actually goes in. He knows that if he goes into the enemy jungle, it's not just the Axe anymore. It's the Axe plus Witch Doctor, maybe even Cuckoo down the line.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they're gonna make some sort of response, because since the Witch Doctor is guarding the Axe, I wonder if they can look for another hero, but they're actually just gonna search Ogre Magi in here. He's gonna be looking for the Witch Doctor, can't really see Axe, so they're gonna find an easy pick up, probably Tiny gonna pick up the kill, and be actually Darkseer. But still, a very nice kill, and this is gonna be tough for Axe. What can he do now? He can't really stand up here. I think he's gonna abandon his own jungle and go to the offlane together with Tusk here.
Still snowballing into a call is very nice. The only problem is you don't have call, so you snowball into Axe being there, and then you don't draw aggro, and then, well, I mean, you may get a couple spins, but definitely not lethal amounts. The Phantom Lancer, though, if ever there's a time to go for him, it's right now. He's all alone. Dazzle wandering around towards mid just to place an Observer Ward so they get eyes on Cuckoo, but this is a small opening until Royer doesn't have any mana. So Axe, yeah, grabs his Tranquils. Is he going to go into the enemy jungle right now? Because then he has to run into the Dazzle, and Ogre Magi is fine going into his own jungle and applying pressure. It doesn't really matter where Axe goes. I'm pretty sure the Ogre Magi is going to be on his ass. We could already see Death wandering down here. Raging Potato is now going to deal with 2 heroes. Gets the Battle Hunger onto end, gets a pretty lucky spin as well, but that's not going to save him from the situation. Phantom Lancer even.
Def can block him in. I think Def could have actually blocked him in there, but
still a lot of damage. Is this lethal damage? It might be. Ogre Magi has the boots and the Orb of Venom. One more hit. That's going to do it. Or, okay, wait, one more hit still.
More.
I think they got him. There we go. Yeah. Club him down, and Axe, you cannot jungle in this game. That's just not permitted by the Ogre Magi. Over towards mid, Halo is going to get
the heal from Dazzle. Oh, yeah, Tiny and just getting the trade. It looked like he was going to get the trade rather, but then Dazzle comes in and heals him right before the Witch Doctor, what's it called actually, the Maledict tick was going to kill him, and then the heals just save him straight up. And what a nice, like, first early game here again for Space Creators. They really seem to have this early game on lockdown, but hopefully they can perform better in the mid game than last game.
You know, right now, like, the early game is just going to be get the lead so that they keep the lead, not get the lead so that they win the game afterwards. Like, right afterwards in the mid game, they're not in that pushing strategy. They just, obviously, Blink Dagger on Tiny is going to be pretty good if he decides to get it, but really they're just waiting for Phantom Lancer, who's going to get hit with the Walrus Punch down towards bottom lane. Has a snowball into him, shards are there as well, but here comes Queen of Pain. Musica is going to have to doppelgang out. Jules has a Sonic Wave, will deploy it, will absolutely miss, and Royer's going to fall because of it. Musica limping away, and Jules, he, on average, hit both of them, but that time hit neither. Now Vela's going to get surged into Raging KO. He has an Ion Shell on an Avalanche Toss, dead to Axe on the top lane. Tiny going to chalk that one up for himself. 5-0 in favor of SCT, and over towards mid lane. Death looks like he got into a little bit of squabble, but was able to survive.
Yeah, and what is happening? Space Grid is like, I don't know if it's luck or if it's like just something else. I don't really know. Like, they barely managed to get the kills. And mid lane, is he gonna pick off? No. This can turn up bad though. Yeah, Velo is looking to go down here.
He's living for a pretty long time because they're not actually right-clicking him a lot, but they'll get him in the end. And Phantom Assassin, rather, barely manages to edge on out of there with her own life. SCT, though they do have a 4-kill lead, the CS that Mineski are able to pick up on the Queen of Pain and the Phantom Assassin is pretty much neck and neck with the SCT side, and Axe is not doing terribly in his CS either. Now level 4, level 2 spin is actually posing some sort of a threat, so Mineski aren't super far behind, but still they're 4 kills down. It's a little bit of gold lead, it's a little bit of experience lead for SCT, and if Tiny's able to pick up a fast Blink Dagger, then the tempo is going to get even worse for Mineski. I don't think they could really convincingly leave their side of the base as any single hero. Have to go in pairs. But they're actually looking for mid lane, it seems. 8-minute rune, anything good?
Wow.
Bounty, nah.
Yeah, region on bottom, so very boring runes. Axe can no, he's a bit under level right now, only level 3. If he had been like 5, he would probably gotten that kill, but not realistically in this game, as of yet at least. But Darkseer is looking a lot stronger this game, I'd say. Level 7 right now, having quite good farm, 1 kill and 1 assist. Not the top network. Oh, Jules.
Vacuumed out of the TP. There's a Fire Blast there as well. He has a Blink, but there's a Surge. He's going to Surge himself, 2D. Now chasing forward for this Queen of Pain. 11 seconds until there's a Blink. I don't think this Queen of Pain is going to survive, though. They've run out of Surge right now, and Jules has a Sonic Wave soon. Scream of Pain is there, going to drop 2D fairly low. They just have to land the Sonic Wave. Snowball is incoming. It is going to latch, and that's going to kill off the Darkseer. Blink forward, Jules has no more mana for a Sonic Wave, but here comes the Dazzle. Has a Grave onto Death. They're going to turn around, try to go for Jules, but here comes the cast from Jesse Bash as well. Completely botches the Maledict. They'll kill off Death regardless. Jules should die to the dot. Yeah. Yes, he will. Ogre Magi get a claim of posthumous kill there. Here comes Velo. A little bit too late to participate, but it's a 2-for-1 up towards top. And that's pretty much exactly what happened in the first game as well. They just got a little bit too deep trying to go for this Quap. At least she dies this time.
Yeah, Darkseer actually misstepped. It looked like he was gonna pick up the kill on the Quap, but then misstepped and ran backwards. And then they got a bit desperate and just dived a bit too far, I'd say. But pretty even game. It looked like Space Grid was gonna take over the early game, but 3 kills from Mineski at least now, looking a bit better than earlier. However, the top lane is being pushed. This Tiny is pretty damn strong right now, and he's gonna try and make advantage of that.
Phantom Lancer also getting a lot of free space on bottom lane. I've seen Musica go for Morbid Mask into Mask of Madness before on Lancer. I think he might be the only player I've seen go for that, as that actually comes to mind. He's going to farm the jungle like an absolute powerhouse at that point, and I mean, he doesn't even have to, he's just farming comfortably in lane, but someone has to deal with this Phantom Lancer, and it seems like it'll be Royer and Jules to be tasked with that. Snowball in, can be doppelgang dodged, but that's only going to be an issue if he actually gets snowballed. He's just going to cleanly walk away out of there. They're trying to apply pressure, Mineski, but trying to apply pressure and actually killing off Musica, those are two different things. He's farming up still, and he's farming up very quickly, a little bit faster than the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, I wonder where it's gonna go actually. Mask of Madness could be good if it's a passive game and you just farm. Mask of Madness is quite nice. It's probably one of the more efficient items in terms of farming. However, you kinda leave yourself a bit in danger going that item. You kinda get killed pretty fast if you have it on. So I'm interested to see what it goes. I'm not a big fan of Bloods either, so I'm not a big fan of Morbid Mask in general this year. I think Ball is just a lot better, and then getting Boost of Travel, just running around and having a good presence.
They found him. Raging Potato, can he get in there? Yes, the chain stun is there with the cast. However, there's not many illusions, therefore not many spins. He gets one, but I think Musica might even dodge that. He's gonna throw a lance towards Jesse Bash. Ignite is there as well. He has no heal. Jesse Bash is gonna fall, and Raging Potato has to leave. He's gonna bait in towards the Phantom Assassin, but can't she really do enough? She throws a dagger. It's a warning shot to the Ogre. Does pretty much nothing. Velo also gonna ward away the Queen of Pain down towards the bottom. It's just actually Tusk actually fell. He went into tower range. Let's see what happened there, but it's a 2-kill for SET down towards bottom.
Yeah, I'm not sure really later. And the Darkseer taking over Axis jungle now. Really, this is really what Darkseer wants. He wants his team to like fight a bit, and he just takes everything on the opponent's safe lane here, and just even the tower is not in danger, but it's already lost 300 HP, which is not really what you want to have for Mineski here.
What a good guy that Darkseer, applying Ion Shell to the axe so that axe can farm a little bit faster. It's so generous.
Yeah,
Pretty sure that was a misclick, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's still 5 kills in favor of SCT, and their Phantom Lancer is still happily in the jungle farming it up. It's going to be Travels, actually, for the Phantom Lancer, so just a casual Morbid Mask, a sustained jungle item. Oh, Vale is going to run right into Jesse Bash. That's a kill, but he's actually going to get fogged. Avalanche Toss is still going to land. That's still going to get the kill. Multicast now into Cuckoo. Ignite is there as well. He's going to jump over towards his axe, but he's probably just going to burn to this one. You have to try to bottle. He's not even going to try.
Yeah, he could have survived that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The bottle is cancelled by the Ignite, but in between the Ignite damage ticks, the bottle gives you a little bit of regen, and he only needed like 30 HP to live. I don't know why he didn't do anything. Now Royer's going to get caught by Velo, who's going to completely miss the Avalanche, so it looks like Royer's going to be fine.
Yeah, that if he just needed a few hit points more, and she would have survived the last tick. So, bit of mistake. Maybe the Ogre went 4-2. Maybe expected more damage from Ignite, so didn't really feel it was worth. I don't like your reasoning. You might be thinking of other stuff, like buying items, like before you die, so you don't lose the gold. So it's definitely an understandable mistake, but costs you quite a lot actually. With Ogre picking up that kill, he's looking very strong. Like last game, I'd say. Picked up a very elegant imps, and he is actually so close to it, considering it's only 30 minutes in, and he's supposed to be a support this game.
Man, that is absolutely ridiculous. And also, Velo has his Blink Dagger, so the Tiny already has notched 4 kills and is going to probably get a couple more. Sees Royer right now. No, actually sees Jules. Avalanche, Toss, it's going to be lethal. That's one dead hero. Now looking towards the Tusk, slowed down by the Lance. Velo has long cooldowns, so he's not going to be able to toss Avalanche yet. But I think they may be able to get this kill anyway. Blink forward, Toss just for the stun duration. That's Tusk down as well. And takes a crit, but still SCT with the Blink Dagger getting 2 immediate kills on not random supports either. Queen of Pain and Tusk, those are big targets here for the SCT side. Now they're decisively starting to pull ahead. Over towards mid lane, they're looking for death. Battle Hunger going to slow them down. Here comes the Dagger and the cast jump in with the Maledict. They are doing an okay amount of damage, but that's still surviving for him a lot longer than he really should. Now with the mech, he may have just lived through this. Potato needs the Culling Blade, but he can't with the vacuum back. Now getting body blocked by the PA illusions. He's still sitting in the middle of everything, spinning a lot, but he will fall without getting any kills. Here comes Jules. Sonic Wave through will kill off one, although he could have killed off Death as well if he aimed slightly to the left. Now blinking to the south, Musica's going to give chase. Has no more mana, however, and Jules should be able to find himself back to his own base, but still over in mid lane. They lose the Dazzle for 2. It's still worth it for SCT.
Yeah, Jules really needed that kill on Ogre actually. It costs quite a lot to not pick it up. He is actually so close to Aghanim's. It's gonna be so scary. Like, he can, if he hits level 11 and has Aghanim's, I think he can solo kill everyone. Probably without exception actually. Tusk seems quite tanky right now, but if he gets lucky on the multicast, I think he can take down anyone.
That's Ogre Magi in a nutshell, but being Ogre Magi who's with the double Fire Blasts, or like Fire Blast and Unrefined, yeah, you're good to go. He's only 800 gold away from that, and this Ogre Magi has been getting very consistent amount of gold. In fact, he has more than the enemy safe laner, which I guess, to be fair to Queen of Pain, she's been dying, she's been kind of botching those Sonic Waves occasionally, and Ogre Magi has been freaking everywhere, but still, this is not a place where any support really should be, but having no lane to go towards death, yet still getting so much value out of this map, that's something that really only a heavy roamer like Ogre Magi can do. And he's doing it pretty much perfectly, as long as he can get this Aghanim Scepter. Hell, even if he can't, like, even if he dies like 3-4 times in a row, it's still a level 8 hero who's going to be able to put in a lot of damage towards the soft heroes of Mineski. Sometimes that's just good enough.
Yeah, we saw him with the point booster and the old club. he is actually so tanky. And they can't kill him reliably at all. That was a 3-man gank, so now they know they need actually 4 people to kill him, and that's not in a good position with PL having Booster Travel as well. Like, you have a lot of targets you have to kind of deal with right now. But Tiny is so strong as well. Like, he can probably solo kill anyone he finds, even Axe here.
Blink just yet. Raging Potato does have his own Blink Dagger. You can get out of that one safe and sound. So luckily for Mineski, no casualties. They also clean out the wards there. Nothing but wins for them, but that's also Blink Dagger revealed on the Axe. I don't know how much SCT would have really run into that. Like, they are working with 4 melee heroes up against an Axe. Gotta remember that. The upside here of the Blink Dagger call is certainly there, but just Raging Potato just not having the proper backup most of the time makes that almost completely null as a point. So 14-4, and it's over towards mid lane where Velo is pushing in with Bloodlust. That's also a ridiculous combo. Tiny with Bloodlust is absolutely terrifying, but if he sees anyone, Blink, Avatos, they're mostly dead. Oh, okay, if you land it correctly, that is. He's not going to get a kill on Raging Potato. Fire Blast is there, and one more hit. That's going to be the Axe cask bouncing through. Musica's going to arrive. They now have Jewels in their sights. No Blink Dagger though on the Tiny because of the Shadow Strike. Still, you walk in a little bit too close and Tiny just insta-kills you. That's how it works.
Yeah, they are so strong right now, CT, with... that should be the only one on the farm, but he doesn't really care. He's like, I'm here guys, I'm healing you, I'm graving you. Axe doesn't even manage to dunk through my graves because like we have so many stuns we're so strong right now, and the Tiny is a really nice snowball here as well. Like, he will probably maybe even kill Jules right here. Needs to be very efficient with his damage, and he was, but it wasn't enough.
Sometimes you just Avatos immediately and you burst them down, but with 1200 HP, Queen of Pain would have survived that. Gotta use Toss for its small amount of stun duration there, and it's just not enough, not in the cards this time, but next time with any other hero next to him, yeah, maybe he'll be able to get that kill. Especially if that hero's Ogre Magi, who is now working with that Aghanim Scepter. I don't know the standard timings for this Ogre Magi Ags. I feel like it's definitely a lot later than 20 minutes, however, like probably closer to 30 since he's usually a support, but this is definitely the fastest Aghanim Scepter I've seen on Ogre. And just having an additional 275 damage nuke, that's good enough. The fact that it can multicast is ridiculous.
I would be very happy if I got a 25 minutes Aghanims. Yeah. That would be like almost ideal, and he put it at like 16. I think it might have been delivered a bit later, but I think he completed at 16 at least. And smoking up now. Let's see some multicast in action here.
Alright, who's on the receiving end? Is it going to be Cuckoo? They have a Blink Avalanche. That is going to start it off. Fire Blast. It is going to multi. I don't know how many times. Only 2. That's all they needed. Toss, and that's a dead Phantom Assassin who has even drums and strength treads, yet still not big enough to withstand that combo. So much damage, and she's gonna have to be the damage dealer for Mineski, but she's nowhere close to that stage yet. Up towards the top of Musica, just charging towards Royer, gonna force the TP out. Is there enough damage here? They need another Lance, not quite enough. Maybe a little bit luckier with some illusion procs, and Musica would have been able to get that kill, but forces the Tusk out, and mid lane, it's devoid of heroes. Mineski can't mount to defense. Oh, Raging Potato, don't go there. Blink Avalanche Toss will still kill you off since Death will be able to close in and Fire Blast you as well. Tower to fall very easily. Now ST can go through all the other lanes and do that to the other lanes as well, take all the tier 2s.
Yeah, this Ogre is doing so much work. I said I would first pick him. I can tell you I'm being more and more convinced that I would pick him as early as possible, I can say. And with CPA also went this tanky build with Freds and Drum, but that didn't matter. She died instantly. Ogre didn't even have to use his second Fire Blast. So it was like...
Now it's Cuckoo again. No multicast. Yeah. Death is really unlucky. Like, well, he's got to practice this.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate for him that he is kind of bad at this hero. No, but I don't know. It's so hard. The PA can't really go into these fights, but who can? Axe is the only one who can. But he doesn't even have his max level Berserker's call. It's quite a big difference having max level. It's half a second, and that half a second can really mean the difference between a won and a lost team fight.
I don't even know if Axe can at this point. Like, he has less HP than the Phantom Assassin, and I mean, he will be able to jump in and get the initiative on Velo and ideally Death. That's the call that you're looking for, but then you have to deal with a mech, you have to deal with a Grave and a Shadow Wave that's level 4 at this point for Numot. That's a lot to deal with as just an Axe. They have to Sonic Wave also.
Yeah, Mineski double smoking actually.
Oh. I don't think it was spotted though.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a tilt, but they're kind of probably not in the best mindset right now. And gonna try and find Musica, but he has game sense. It looks like he feels that something is up and is returning. But Mineski might be moving very correctly here and might still find someone.
Well, or a courier. They see the curse, they know that someone's here. Musica can doppelgang it, can't get it out in time. Now here comes Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave through, Snowball's there as well. They need a Walrus Punch, that's good enough. Avalanche toss though onto 3 heroes. The cast is gonna bounce through, slow them down. It looks like those heroes may escape. Although the Tusk will not. Jessivash gonna try to TP out. There's another toss available. He'll get tossed up and he will crater. That's gonna be a 1 for 2. So even though Mineski, yeah, they do get the pick off on the Phantom Lancer, which is big game. In fact, the biggest game in this game. It's still not good enough. Like, they lose 2 heroes in the retreat. It's still favoring them, yes, but it's like not what they wanted. They need to get more kills with losing no heroes if they want to come back into this.
Yeah, Vilo just looking for more. He actually showed himself with the creep and had blink on cooldowns, didn't find anything. So slight mistake, didn't yield a kill there, but he is gonna finish Aghanims pretty soon. Didn't finish as fast as Ogre, but it's still very nicely timed.
7, 1, and 5 on the Tiny. Someone's TPing in. They should not be TPing in. It's a bad idea. That's a terrible idea, so it's going to be cancelled. Tusk will be just fine. But this tower will not. Even without the Aghanims on the Tiny, the fact that he's Bloodlusted only level 3, and hitting for 200 damage a pop, which of course seems fair, and is almost completely woven up, he's going to drop this tower in no time flat. Royer and Jules got to watch out, although Avalanche Toss is not up. The Stillager's going to jump in and beat him down. Walrus Punch gets Craggied! I've never seen that before, but poor Tusk didn't see that one coming either.
Yeah, Crag is actually when you get Craggied when you initiate or anything, like it's the worst feeling ever. Like the percentage is so low. It's especially when like Tiny is like level 9, 10, and you know it's like less than 15%. And you blink in, and your hero out attacks, and you actually get Craggied, and your initiation failed because like it's the absolute worst feeling in the world. There's nothing in Dota that feels worse than that. And he wasn't the same situation, but he was still very unlucky. Might have actually escaped, probably not. But Mineski, what is their game plan? Will they win late game? Probably not against this farm PL and Tiny. Like it's gonna be very rough for them. I think the team fight combo from SCT is not that strong, so that's probably the worst part about the drop. But they're so far ahead, I don't think it matters. And Mineski on the other side, they don't have that big of a team fight either. It's not like they have a Magnus combo or an Earthshaker together with a Darkseid or something like that. They don't have a huge wombo combo to defend high ground with. So it's gonna be very hard. They have to really play the cards correctly on Mineski if they want to have a chance of winning this game.
Yeah, but now there's still level 3 Bloodlust in the Ogre Magi. Velo has the additional damage, siege damage, let's say, given to him by that Aghanim Scepter, and they're just going to barrel down bottom. They've cleaned out all the tier 2s, slid into the Roshan pit, very easily took that one, and this tier 3 already was banged up from last time. Velo's going to take some tower shots, but now that he's woven up, they have the heal behind him, they have the Guardian Greaves, they have the Dazzle, obviously, and this tower is going to drop. Someone has to jump in, but he's actually going to get the jump on Jessivash. They also multicast Raging Pail at the exact same time. In fact, 4 Fire Blasts going to connect, and with a big heal bomb, they'll wipe him out. Queen of Pain's going to get a decent Sonic Wave out, but has to leave immediately. GG is called before the rest of the Mosquitoes are even going to fall, and I think that's fine. It doesn't seem like they would have been able to hold anyway. That was even like best case scenario. If they get the call, it's only on Velo, and he has an Aegis.
Yeah. You pick big tanky heroes and you just stage rush them. That's how you win Dota. That's how you win 6.85, and that's how SCT won at least.
Maybe. But I think this game, for sure, Death is like, you gotta ban this Ogre now, right? You have to?
I don't know, I think this hero is, he's not broken, but he's too strong to think, he's, like, you have to think about him, like, either you have a plan, like, early game, how do you deal with Ogre, because you saw in early game, he was 2 versus 1 on the sports, and he was actually kind of winning that exchange, so you really have to think about how you deal with Ogre, unless you just ban it out or pick it themselves. Which I would recommend either of those two.
Yeah, but either way, I think if Ogre goes again into the hands of Death for the 3rd game in a row, that's just a mistake from Mineski. Maybe after the first game, they don't respect the hero, not really sure what he can do, but after this game, that is the extent of Ogre Magi. That is what he does. He messes you up from the get-go. And there's not much you can do about that. Guys, Space Creator is going to take game 2. We're going to a game 3. I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by Kefka, and we'll be right back for the third and final game between these two teams in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere.